Ooh. Man, what's going on? A lot of weird... A lot of weird things happening. Did you see this already? Chances are probably not. I don't think I've seen anything.
No.
I will say Lindsey Graham being asked by a reporter how Mitch McConnell is doing, answering, I don't know, I'm going to check right now, and then dying is hilarious.
How is he doing? Have you heard anything?
I'm going to go check right now with my office. And hoping and praying he's doing well, but I'm going to check just right now.
Is there a contingency plan if for some reason his McConnell...
Jesus. Are you and Hutch fighting again? I don't think so, are we? Dear leader, you see that Asman video where he explains the context of the N-word stuff and what do you know? It was completely out of context, but Hasan was signal boosting Miskiff and others because it was against Asman, Bald, his enemy. Yeah, that's not surprising at all. I saw a little bit of the extra Emiru images. So was it... So then was it not... Because I didn't look into the set deeply because I've been busy the past 2 days. So was it not his password? Was it just talking about other people that were making accounts and that's what it was? Or did I say extra Emiru? Whatever the fuck. I don't know. Listen, these people's names are too similar, okay? He was talking about a chatter, apparently. Jason the Wiener started DMCing clips about his recent controversy. Okay, hold on. What tweet about Rumble? You'll do in cat or something. Wait, hello? Oh. Wait, why did she post like every message except for the one where he said fuck? And then where's the message that Mizkif released? Oh, no, wait, it is here. Sorry, I'm retarded. Forgot I just said that. Wait, where is the message that Mizkif released, though? Okay, hold on, let me see. The difference, yeah. Ooh. Okay. I can't believe he did this. This is why I hedged when I get my video, and I even specifically referenced the Fedmeister stuff. So I don't know how many people were here for it, but I covered drama with I covered drama between Pokemon and another streamer called Fedmeister a long time ago. And the guy called Fedmeister released a he released like a little manifesto thing on Pokemon about how Pokemon was kind of like leading him on and being like very possessive and weird, but like wouldn't date him. And it looks really, really, really bad for Pokey. And I think when I covered that initially, I basically took Fedmeister's side because it was really bad. Like what her whole behavior there was super fucked up. But then for like every single thing that Fedmeister released, Pokey had like a page or two of screenshots prior to like the screenshot that Fedmeister would post, and it would completely 180 the context on everything. And I guess on my, like in my brain, I was just like, there's no way. I couldn't even imagine somebody doing that. Like, why would you ever release a screenshot knowing the other person could completely change the context of it immediately? Like, why would you ever? I just can't imagine that. So then for this, I hedged on the Mizkip stuff because I was like, well, there's no way, right? Like, but I mean, maybe there's other context. This really does look like Asmongold is talking about a password that he has. Well, and then also primed with the fact that Mizkif said it was a password thing. But then I just figured this was a typo. When Asmongold says, at a certain point, he wasn't even the word anymore. Everyone knows I said it, don't worry. I thought he meant like at a certain point, it wasn't even the word anymore. Like he just typoed like he instead of it. But now it makes more sense when he said he was talking about a person who was constantly changing his name. Why? There's only one now. There's one more 180. There's one more 180. Correct. Yeah. The one more 180 would be if Mizkif could post a screenshot with Emiru saying Asmongold is super edgy, like he even uses the N-word for his password, look at this, and then sends him the thing, which would be crazy. Mizkif responds, hold on. I can't watch the stream, but correct me if I'm wrong. She said nothing, and all she said was it was a viewer, not a password, so she's defending him more. Thank you. What about all her lies in the video? What about how she lied about everything? Nope, just sad man. The problem is that you have to be really careful with your credibility, because if it looks like you're not even wrong about a thing, but if it looks like you're intentionally lying about a thing, then it's going to hurt your credibility so much for everything else. How is this being your password any better? Well, it made it look like, honest to God, I don't know, just because we're at this point in our politics and everything else, I don't even give a fuck. If Asmongold uses the N-word, it's like not even the most racist shit that he says or does. But I mean, to some people that still matters a lot. And the screenshot basically made it look like Asmongold, like, LOL, the N-word is my password for everything, which is edgy and stupid. But if it's like another guy in a chat who's constantly remaking screen names being edgy and stupid, then it is significantly different. So, yeah, I don't know. Miz would have to post the context in which Emiru shared the screenshot with him. But it doesn't seem like he's going to do that or hasn't done that, so I don't know. What's going on with Jason the Ween? Oh, I saw this.
Thoughts on the game?
Sorry, Jason. Fucking lumber.
Fucking Arby's. I don't even know shit. What the fuck? Arby's. I don't even know shit. What the fuck? No.
Rip. I guess. Wait, hold on. Which one? This is Jason, right? It's this guy?
Fucking Arby's. I don't even know shit. What the fuck? No. I didn't say shit. Stop. Don't you dare.
Rip. I thought didn't we agree that like Asians and Mexicans and everybody could say it as long as you're not white? I thought that was the agreed thing, no? I think Fedmeister was hoping Pokey would be too embarrassed to release their logs. I honestly think the same for Emiru. I think Miz is playing into the Emiru and Asmon dating rumor, hoping their logs would be too embarrassing to leak the full context. I think Emiru even mentions when releasing them something like, you can see no flirting or nothing. Oh. Huh. Cringe. Weird. Does Destiny act retarded on purpose when it comes to names? I don't think you realize how little online content I consume, especially in the Twitch space. I don't know. The only time I know any of these people is when they are, like, somehow peripheral to my space or we're watching, like, clips on them. I don't know any of these. The only thing I know about Jason the Ween is, like, I think Valkyrie did content with him once because people were bringing him up with relation to the doing content with young people thing. That's it. That's all I know. The original Miz tweet calling Emiru out about the logs is mainly about Asmon not commenting on his video about the case. Maybe he did this to try to get them to respond, but they just ignored him. Well, it doesn't matter. You can't just like intentionally like super lie and misrepresent what's going on. People are it's gonna be a huge credibility hit, bro. What do you mean? There's no excuse for that. A tortoise was tossed in the air by a bull bison in Yellowstone National Park. Pretty wild how quickly things escalated and how much ground the bull bison covers after it finished wallowing in the recreational area. Uh-oh. Any comments on the Mizkif's alleged mass Reddit comment botting? I don't know. I have to see the allegation.
Oh, I missed the Emiru thing because I was in the shower. Question. Oh.
Wait, is there no volume for this? In the Asmongold video, he specifically mentions how Hasan was liking Mizkif's tweet and retweeting it and signal boosting it without doing any research into the claim, which we already know, but it's just further evidence that he weaponized his opportunity to destroy his enemies. Yes. So, like, Tectone, you can also see this with, like, Gisticle and all them. Tectone is friends with, like, Asmongold. So, like, Asmongold, Tectone, and Emiru are all going to be, like, oppositional to Hasan. So you're going to see people like Gisticle and then Hasan and all of his ilk, like, constantly attacking and fighting. That's why you saw Denims also going in on Emiru for review botting or whatever, which she might. I don't know if she does it. I don't follow that close enough. Yeah, what was your question?
Is that how Emiru, do you think, framed it to Mizkif in DMs?
If she did, I think that Mizkif would just release that, right?
Yeah, that would be my guess, yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's a big boy. Well, Kevin, you do thank for the $100. Debates must be such a drag now. Santos didn't even engage in any real back and forth. He just seemed to get cornered and retreat into some off-topic nonsense or talk to the audience. I mean, how are you going to defend the Trump shit? It's a joke. Everything's a joke right now.
I enjoyed Santos for the first, like, 10 minutes, and I was like, oh, this guy's really funny, blah, blah, blah. But then it goes on for, like, another 50 minutes to longer, and it's just like these people just think it's all some big game.
Yeah. I mean, he's a funny guy, but
yeah.
I mean, the Trump shit is ridiculous, yeah. I feel like there's a non-zero chance Putin poisoned Lindsey Graham. I don't think so. I don't think there's any chance.
Why are we peddling conspiracy theories?
The problem is just that it would be the number one thing that Russia could do to literally turn the entire world against him in just the most ridiculous manner possible. Like, it would be so stupid to a sitting U.S. senator. Like, that would just be, it would be so crazy stupid. Although I will say that it can't, like, I know it might seem mean or unsensitive or whatever to the family members, but we should know how he died. Like, there's a sitting U.S. senator. It can't just be that people randomly die and we get no info on it. Like, we need a full understanding of what happened.
If you're in office and you die as a senator, I don't think you deserve.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's absolutely privacy. That needs to just be said. Sorry, like I'm sorry, yeah.
Like, we even need to know where the fuck Mitch McConnell is right now. Yeah,
that's also like wildly unacceptable. I think they said cardiac arrest. That's not any information. That's like saying you That's like saying like you died due to lack of oxygen to the brain or whatever. That doesn't tell us anything.
Kid died of SIDS.
Yeah. Well,
sudden infant death syndrome is like a catch-all. It's not like an exact thing.
Well, maybe, but I think SIDS is like they just died randomly in their sleeper randomly. Well, but we have no idea what happened.
Yeah, well, we don't know.
But like, I think cardiac arrest could theoretically be caused by, like, you could have a cardiac arrest from like a drug overdose or something, I believe, right? Or other things can cause your heart to stop for whatever reason. Whoa! That dude got launched. Oh, and then the bison chills. That was a warning.
Like him.
That was a warning.
I don't
launch.
like the motherfucker. How was it? Did you have fun?
I guess it was okay.
Okay.
Senator Lindsey Graham was a devoted public servant, a fierce defender of our nation, and a true patriot who dedicated his life to the people of South Carolina and the United States. What, do I care about this? What is this?
Sorry, what did... Hold on, all I gotta say is what Trump said about Mueller. 1 second, I gotta find the...
Uh-oh.
Good, I'm glad he's dead.
Jesus.
He can no longer hurt innocent people. That's what he tweeted.
Why don't you hang out with Darius? I landed at, I think, 2 p.m. and then I flew out at 6 a.m. the next morning. So I'm like, I was in and out of there pretty fast.
Darius is gonna be hanging out with us at
DC.
whatever it is, LibCon. Yeah. I don't know why he went to Vegas. Like, I cannot imagine wanting to do an 18-hour drive.
Well, aren't they kind of like making their way to DC or something?
Is Vegas near DC?
Well, I don't. Are they like doing like a round the country road trip or something? I don't know.
No, I think he just drove there to do your thing and then
That
was
would be
driving
crazy.
to DC.
Given that we didn't make plans or anything at all, so.
They're driving to Austin then to DC. It was just for Vegas. Well, there you go. What do you want me to say?
Well. Well, I don't understand what Aquila is trying to spam at me in chat.
They're probably asking for an unban. Yeah, I'll tweet that. That's a good tweet. Hold on.
Okay.
What did I send you? I got some stuff. Oh, apparently Piker is mad about the USA Today thing.
Oh, we'll get to that
I haven't watched that. Okay, good.
in our Hasan segment. I can't tell if this was like if she was memeing. Because she had another
Why would
clip
you give
where
her the benefit of the doubt, man?
I'm just because it's
Milligan was hit with a red card during last Wednesday's game between the U.S. and Bosnia and Herzegovina. So apparently, since these are two little countries, smaller countries, I should say, you have the U.S. team battling it out between these two smaller countries. Okay, now according to the
like what?
There's no.
What does this even mean?
Tone.
Like, what is, like, but like, does she think that, like, yeah,
She thinks they combined countries
to
to have like the
what
people.
does that mean?
I mean, I was memeing about it. I was like, we faced 22 men out on the pitch, the U.S. versus two countries. That was awesome. It's a 2v1.
I don't know. Okay, I don't even know what to say about that. I'm not even sure. Because this is the second comment she's made about them, right? In the first one, didn't she make a comment about, was it a red card thing or something? And she, oh wait, is this the same clip? Are there not two different clips?
At the start, she talks about a red card.
Maybe this was the same one. Okay, I don't know. Do you watch UFC stuff?
Nah, not really anymore. I did for a long time, but I got over the ground game grappling.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I saw Connor got his ass kicked in the first minute.
Well, maybe.
Kicked his own ass again.
Yeah. Oh fuck, my YouTube is It's got a thing. I'm not changing it. You'll live today. Destiny's followers are the dumbest piece of shit. Do they forget all the geography and history gaffes their daddy has made? Holy shit, you fucking owned us, brah. You fucking owned us. Good job.
You be promoted.
Okay, we got
Did you read White Nations Fail?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Why is it
One
any
of my
good?
friends thought you did. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna read it.
Oh my god. What was this cable thing? We got a lot of upsetty spaghetti people about a cable.
Oh, wait. I just want to say, be careful about watching the FIFA shit, because
Yeah, I
that is a
know.
good way to get your shit fucked.
Same thing with UFC stuff. I'm not clicking any of those clips. This is all bullshit. There was no cable. I will say, it was interesting listening to Joe Rogan talk about stuff that he seemed like he actually kind of knew a little bit about.
He's a huge UFC guy.
I know. And I was like, hey, I know this guy. He gives dog shit political commentary.
But he knows his shit on UFC.
Yeah, he seems like he kind of knows what's going on here, though. Kind of interesting, the difference. Now that makes me really want to go on a show sometime and just talk a whole bunch of UFC shit and know absolutely nothing about what I'm talking
Just
about for
lie.
like 2 hours. And then at the end it'd be like, this is
That'd
what
be
it's like when we
awesome.
listen to you talk about politics, bro. Damn. Well, Jesus. It's a lot of... Okay. Let me just check through any more drama stuff before I could get a lot of Hasan slap
Oh,
today.
I sent you a good drama thing
What was it about?
on your subreddit.
The dough thing?
The dough effect, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I might read that after. My motivation to read stuff when I can see that it's like a fucking AI format
Retarded.
post. It goes down a lot, but I don't know. Maybe he wrote this all out, so who knows? I understand your point about unilateral disarmament, but it feels like the blue, no matter who on our side, is getting a little out of control. What are you talking about in reference to what?
Wait, the blue no matter who on our side? Is that what you said?
Some guy, yeah, my
It
number
cannot
one
get out of
Israeli
control.
warrior in YouTube chat said that. I don't know what he's referring to though.
Yeah, I'd vote for Platinum still. True.
How did Miz get them? Because she sent him to screenshot. She sent him to screenshot. That's what happened. But the reason why she sent him to screenshot is something that I don't hold against her and I don't think is problematic. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into the details for that, but I need to talk to. But I basically I do not feel betrayed or taken advantage of, or I don't feel like my and also keep in mind.
Okay. What specifically are you referring to about Joe Rogan? Like, why do you think he's good at MMA commentary? He's been kind of dog shit the last few years. Hasn't really updated his knowledge about the fighter/ground game. I don't care what you're saying. Literally nothing you're saying matters right now because he is so fucking dog shit at politics. Him knowing the difference between a kick or a punch puts him leagues ahead of commenting on fighting than it does about fucking politics, okay? That's all I'm saying, all right? I don't know if... I'm not saying he's the best UFC MMA commentator. I don't even know anything because I don't know fuck all about UFC or MMA. All I know is that when he talks about the fighting stuff, it seems like the stuff that he was talking about, you could look at it on the instant replay and he knew what he was talking about on screen, and it is infinitely better than this politics talk where he thinks that vaccines will turn you into zombies. That's all I'm saying, okay? Okay, from YouTube, thank you for gifting 2 Tier 5 subbers. Oh my god. Also, yeah, I do agree that the grappling's gotta go.
True.
The grappling's gotta go. The last 2 fights, because I think the second to last one too. Also, imagine like flying out and hyping everything up and doing all this shit. And then like Was it
They're
the
on the
Irish
ground
dude
for
or Scottish
7
dude or
minutes.
the Liverpool guy? No, he was on the ground for like 13 seconds, and then the guy was done. he got strangled in 12
You're talking
seconds.
about Mayweather?
No, what? It was like
Oh,
the guy's name was
I
like
didn't watch
Patty
this.
versus some other dude.
Patty the Batty. Patty Baby. Huh?
Yeah, like the intros take longer than the actual fight.
Yeah, the walk up
Yeah.
takes longer than the fucking fight.
I would kill myself. That dude was sleeping. Imagine you like wake up and you're like, oh, I'm at UFC. I remember I just trained and traveled and did all this shit for this, and I'm done in 10 seconds. Cringe.
How it goes. Yeah, as much as they get flack, I think the content creators have done good with the boxing stuff. I think they're at least entertaining. I like watching Jake Paul go get his ass beat.
Yeah.
Still, the most entertaining fighting sport right now is WWE, though. And I put sport in quotations.
True. Okay, well, fuck. Nothing's going on. All right.
Get him
Hasan
up here.
slot time.
Let's read him. Yeah.
I said this before, but my prediction is that I think Hasan is going to be kind of feeling down over the next couple months, I think. Because, I mean, like the DSA California shit or whatever didn't go too well. And then people think that the DSA is on this huge uprise because of New York. But I'm pretty sure that was just Mamdani. That wasn't really like the DSA. So Hasan probably felt like he was part of some huge movement or team or whatever for a little bit after these DSA elections. But now it's going to go back to not really much going on for him, except for whatever he's covering on stream, I guess. And then I guess we'll see from there. I don't know why. Apparently he's watching. Did he watch this whole 4-hour Kilo video on stream? There's no way, right? Does anybody know?
4 hours?
That the Kilo guy, he's like a justical dude and a huge anti-fanner on Twitter. Yeah, he made like a 4-hour video. Like basically simping for Hasan and like going over how everybody was wrong about, I think, like about how people were wrong about everything they'd said negative about him. But there's no way he watched this whole video, right? Wait, did he? Wait, fuck, I can't tell how much is the video. Hold on. I love the dog collar part.
Oh my god. He watched more than I figured.
Did he watch the whole fucking video? Holy shit.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
I don't think I've ever watched a 4-hour video on stream. Dan, there he is!
He watched the whole thing. His whole stream was watching his video.
Crazy.
Oh my god. Did he actually say Hasan shocked his dog, or did he cover for that? 4-hour video. Hasan bad, the Weasley little liar.
All right, you're gonna have to make an 8-hour video breaking down Kilo's video.
Fuck that. Wait, what is? Oh god, do I really want to?
Pattern of abuse is pretty silly. And if Hasan does use a shot collar and then lied about it, I kind of get why, considering this situation led to some people filing reports to have Kaya taken away. Does anybody really think it would be better for Kaya to be entered into the foster system rather than staying in the LA mansion where she seems to live a largely spoiled and happy life? Look, if you want to criticize him for using a shot collar, that's totally fine. That is a legitimate concern. But this story quickly stopped being about Kaya and turned into yet another desperate scramble.
Why? Oh god, I hate everything. Sorry, hold on. I'm gotta get my mind straight. Because this is supposed to be serious. Kaya, this is not a dog that would spend more than 2 seconds in a fucking pound. You do not go to pounds and find, like, almost purebred, beautiful, huge fucking dogs like this. Like, this dog would get adopted. Like, the fucking employees might adopt this fucking dog. The reason why the Kaya thing is such a funny big story, though, isn't because Hasan was well, it is funny that Hasan is literally electrocuting a dog to keep it in place on stream. It's that he managed to lie to his audience about it, and most people will like carry this lie into the future, despite the fact that you can like clearly on screen see evidence of him doing a thing that everybody's telling you to ignore that he actually did. Like, it's the rewriting of history is the crazy thing about it, but that's way more crazy than the actual event itself. All right, fuck it. Let's go over some of our Hasan Slappa clips.
Woohoo!
Ever seen? Shut your fucking mouth.
The attacks on Hasan range from him encouraging violence, to him being an anti-Semite, to him simply being kind of stupid, which is probably kind of true.
I don't know which is which, dude. Doesn't know where Yemen is? I think... Nope. This is literally a video about... my critics making ridiculous claims, and him unironically using me joking that was then taken seriously by Epstein.
How is he? Oh, yeah, link it, the original one. Every time he says that he's joking, we'll just rewatch the original and find where the joke is. I don't know why he says this. Well, because he thinks he can get away with rewriting.
I couldn't point out Yemen on a map right now.
You couldn't?
I don't think I could point out where Yemen is now.
Well, go learn.
But
I don't care if you can or can't.
Talk about
the
Yemen.
thing, the thing is that Hasan marketed himself as knowing everything about the Middle East or whatever for a decade, and I'm pretty sure this was a clip from 2019 or 2020. I'm pretty sure he'd written an article on Yemen, about Yemen. Like, the thing is that if you know anything about it, and you know anything about what's going on, it's impossible not to know where Yemen is.
I know where it is now.
Good job.
It's the other strait area.
Based.
Who probably knew that I was joking at the time, but still used this as an example. I still remember this. There was I fake accidentally couldn't find where Turkey is.
Like, also as a heads up, you know, they're like secret societies or whatever. You know how you have like the Federalist Society?
Mm-hmm.
That's not a secret society, sorry, but like where all the Supreme Court justice picks and everything come from, and they have all these ideas about like, you know, Project 2025, and all this other bullshit, and they nominate judges, and they give lists. I think the Project 25 was a Heritage Foundation, but there is a similar society like that for my anti-fans and for Hasan stans now, and it's called Mr. Girl. Like, I think this Keelatronics dude was one of Mr. Girl's like head mods or whatever. I don't know why or how this came to be, but a lot of the weird people that exist in these anti-fan communities came directly from Mr. Girl stream. I don't know how or why, but that's just like a thing that I've noticed. Thank you, Mongrel Intruder, for the tier 5 sub, everybody.
Oh, that's Sweden. Is it Finland? No, it's Finland. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, United Kingdom. There it is. Nailed it.
Off-branded. Azerbaijan! Guys! I know what that is! Guys, I've been there, guys, of course! Azerbaijan! If you don't know this, yeah, you're just stupid.
Azerbaijan!
You should know this. Don't be dumb. Know this.
What is this game called? I'm gonna get absolutely owned if I play this game.
You have a
I suck. Terra.com. I'm not gonna do it. Everyone's gonna make fun of me. It's just like, it's terrible. Should I do it right now? No, everyone's gonna make fun of me. I don't know. I'm bad at geography too. Oh no, everyone's gonna make fun of me if I do this.
Like, where's the joke?
To help you.
What's the
with the 50 US states?
No
I can't do that. I'll get owned. I'll get owned to oblivion. I have no idea where the states are. 192 member states. Click on Pakistan. Wait, how do I zoom in? How do I zoom in? How do I zoom in? Okay, which one is it? Is it this? Is it this or this? Is it this? I don't know which one it is. I have no idea. Oh no. I don't know. Is it this? Oh no.
You love the spirit of justice. You love your father, the devil.
Pakistan is next to India. I don't know.
Okay, I lied. I'm not gonna watch this whole 15-minute video. But I'm just saying, like, if you watch any of the original here, it's obvious he's not joking. He just sucks at geography, which in and of itself would be fine. It's just that he acts like he's been an expert on all of foreign affairs for decades or whatever, and he always cites his education, right? Well, I graduated with a I graduated with a poli-sci degree, and I know blah 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 blah. I've got all these credentials, and I've talked about this for over a decade, and I care about Israel, Palestine, and the Middle East, blah blah. And I was like, bro,
40 seconds left. I don't know. I shouldn't have done this. This is terrible. I told you guys I'm terrible at geography. Doesn't know 2 countries east of Iran. Okay, dude. Yeah, I don't. Shut up. Okay. Nope, that was a failure. That was good. Think blinking. Oh my god. What is it like? What is it like here?
You love your father, the devil.
Ecuador. Equator. Where is it? Is it in like here somewhere? There it is. Eswatini? What the hell is this? Bhutan? I don't know what this is, but there's a dragon on their flag. This is my future. There you go. Right. Draw 25. Ah!
Whatever.
Of course I'm fucking
If he was
joking.
trolling, he would have just done a perfect rendition afterwards.
Maybe. Or there's like a million different ways to like tell, like if it's like a troll or a meme or a joke. But it's like, it's obviously it's not, right? He just sucked at geography. Which again, in and of itself is whatever, it's fine. But while you're pretending that you've been an expert on these affairs for like over 10 years is...
You didn't think about that? I clicked on Turkey, the country that I'm from, that I lived in for the first 18 years of my life. I was baiting my fucking chat. Nope. Got it.
A lot of the attacking is coming from pretty dishonest places. Like the time...
It's so crazy, man. I can't even fucking... Even a video that's like supposed to take a critical lens, still, that's how much staying power hater narratives have on the internet. That's how much staying power it has. Bro, before that video, before that me fucking around on stream, I had written extensively about the crisis in Yemen.
Oh, see, he has written extensively. Is that true? I think I've seen one article that he wrote while he was working for the Young Turks. I don't know about written extensively. And it was like a 3-minute article, but okay.
Like years prior to that. That's crazy. Been a fan for 6 years. Didn't know what that was the context of that clip.
Oh my god.
It blows my mind. Getting the treatment of a woman not being able to make jokes. I know. I mean, that's besides the point, for the record. Like, that's obviously not that serious. Who cares? But it is kind of wild that, like, even a video that's supposed to take...
Yeah, this is the article that I remember. Has he written anything more than this? What's going on in Yemen, and why aren't we talking about U.S. involvement? It's like a quick little... It's like a 5-minute read. I don't know if I would say this counts as like extensively written about it, but okay.
Take like a 4-hour, very critical approach to like what my fucking haters have developed around me as like this mythology of a stupid guy who is also very bad and a dangerous terrorist, still ends up falling for it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I wrote about fucking Yemen in 2016, years prior to that fucking meme, dude. What's going on in Yemen, and why aren't we talking about U.S. involvement? That's like 3 years before that meme of me being like, oh, where's Yemen? I don't know which is which, dude. Close the cookies? Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, he's giving himself the Kaya treatment here.
True. Doesn't know where Yemen is? Okay, I'm going to click close. I'm closing it. I'm closing it. I think Nope. 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 Got it.
Just joking, by the way. My God.
Yeah. This.
Mr. Trump.
Clout hungry. Clout. Desperate for clout. That's it. Linking up with some of the worst motherfuckers out there. So I don't really give a shit if he calls me a dog shocker. I get it still X's favorite. He brings it up daily. Brother, Gucci bag. Let it go, bro. Let it go. He's gonna keep hitting every vein he can. Someone was telling me that XQC was talking about the brothel shit. Who gives a fuck, brother? Can you not tell? He feels slighted. He feels fucked up about the decisions that he made in his life that caused him to isolate himself from people that he was friends with, myself included. And he wanted to get the bag. It's okay. He will always be recognized. He will always be recognized as a legendary content creator for a lot of young people. A lot of the FaZe boys, they all fucking grew up watching XQC. And he will forever sit around and do everything in his power to just be like, you know what? Fuck Hasan. It's nothing different than this group of fucking weirdos. Now, to be fair to XQC, unlike these fucking losers, he's just kind of a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He's selfish. He doesn't care about other human beings.
Jesus.
He's much nicer to people in person, but when the cameras are on, he's a giant fucking asshole. And on top of that, he's been, pummeling and pumping unlimited amounts of fucking gambling content for a cryptocurrency that gave him $100 million.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't matter. He's going to watch this clip and milk it for a week now? Yeah. But again, is that different than any number of different people that fucking despise me? He was crying last week that you are the reason coworker Wig doesn't invite him to events anymore.
Wow, Stoogie, thank you for gifting a tier 5 subber, buddy. Wait,
he was crying last week that you are the reason coworker Wig doesn't invite him to events anymore.
Crying.
Dog, AT&T is the reason why I don't get invited to coworker Wig events. The fuck?
Ooh, he mad about that one. Uh-oh.
What's he talking about? How do I have this level of power and influence? By a guy who had to distance himself from me by being like, he's my coworker, I wouldn't go to his funeral, I actually don't like the guy. The fuck? Again, none of that shit even makes sense. I'm not even at the event. Am I capable of stopping Ludwig from disinviting or uninviting XUC? How the fuck does that work?
I like how he's acting like that's so impossible. He can't even look at the camera when he's saying that fucking lie. When we've had multiple examples of people leaking that Hasan will tell you, do not work with this guy, do not invite this guy, you have to talk shit about this guy. Like, we know you do this. This fucking pathetic, desperate fuck is like texting people who are streaming talking about him, saying like, bro, why are you saying bad things about him? We've seen him do this multiple times.
Am I capable of stopping Ludwig from disinviting or uninviting XUC? How the fuck does that work? Perhaps it's because he's kind of an asshole. I'm talking about XUC. He's an asshole who has, for many, many years, when he was at the fucking tippy top of the game, greatly abused his prominence and his influence to mistreat people, to treat people like shit, including people like Ludwig, Ludwig was incredible to him. I've opened my home to XUC too, but Ludwig literally
opened my home. Oh my God, bruh. Are you okay?
Really fucking opened his entire home.
Where is this coming from? Opened my home? We're just young men that stream on the internet. This guy's acting like he took in your homeless family to live and survive. What are you talking, bro? What?
But Ludwig literally fucking opened his entire home. Not only is he super flaky and he bails on everything, but like, there's been a lot of like behind the scenes help too, and he's just an asshole. At a certain point, if you're gonna consistently be a fucking asshole, people are gonna be like, all right, man, it's not worth the headache.
Jesus.
He opened his home.
His home.
Harassers. Ethan has spent 2 years going after liars, doxers, and harassers, which makes it a little awkward that one of them is apparently his vacation buddy. He's in a pod.
Yeah, also they lie and they say that I doxed the Progressive Victory people because like I watched a video from Bad Empanada covering the Progressive Victory FEC files, which again is literally not a dox at all. Like the only way that you can consider that to be a dox is if you're just straight up like, these are public FEC filings. I know that when you say it's public FEC filings, people turn around and go, well, anything could be public. Here's your home address. It's like, I think we both understand there's a difference between a public FEC filing. My donations are public FEC filings. My donations to candidates are public. Everyone's are. That's how the FEC works. That's why we have open secrets, for example. So the idea that that's a dox on people is fucking totally ridiculous.
You were only showing it, and the only reason Bad Empanada was showing it was to harass the people involved. I like how he's acting like, oh no, we just wanted to go over these filings because it's important or something. You just wanted to show it to harass the people involved. That's why the people call it a dox.
And not only is it ridiculous, even Progressive Victory itself, there are no addresses on them. And Progressive Victory itself said that was a misunderstanding that people were promoting.
Yeah, because it was after the organization had been co-opted by tanky fucking losers and we're trying to simp for you. Oh my God.
And it doesn't matter. They still say it. They still fucking say it. They say, oh, it's on doxes people. It's on doxes people. It's fucking bullshit. The only reason why they say it is so that they can justify their own behavior because everything is no you. Everything is no you.
Oh, that's what he does.
Oh,
nice.
You're saying I'm doxing someone because I literally subpoenaed Twitter to find their fucking home address, to find personal information about them, unmask them, show photos of them as minors to my audience, to my serial doxing.
Who's he even referring to here? Is this about Ethan or
community? Well, guess what? Hasan looked at public FEC filings.
Or is this me? Oh, maybe this is me? Okay. Nice.
Ethan?
Whataboutism. Yeah. All they do is whataboutism, guys. What about when they did this? Oh, this was him when him talking to other people and telling them what to do.
Session with Destiny. It is really remarkable. Oh, I want to tell you guys a story. Again, since our friendship was a farce, according to Hasan, when he came in here for the first show, he immediately said to me and everybody, you guys can say you don't remember it or say nothing. He says, avoid Destiny. He's the worst person alive. Don't talk about Destiny. Don't think about Destiny.
I'm so glad he's saying this. Hasan does this on every fucking show that he goes on. He tried to blacklist me like super, or he did, I guess, once he got bigger than me doing the 90 days. He does. Shit. He would do this everywhere he goes. People always tell me paranoid of this shit, but he does. He absolutely does this. When he goes on shows and shit, he'll tell them, like, we don't cover Destiny, we don't talk about Destiny, we don't do anything with him, you can't talk to him, or I'll stop associating with. Like, he does this shit fucking everywhere. Yeah.
Destiny's the monster. He gave like a whole like prepared 5-minute speech about how ignore Destiny and like just poisoning the well. Be like, Destiny's the worst person in the world. Don't talk about him. Don't give him any attention. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? It kind of threw me off guard because I was like, I don't.
And then when Ludwig had to re-upload his video because he made the easiest, the tiny. This is back when Hasan still had more sway among some of the Twitch people. Although now Ludwig will just say, "Oh, we're just coworkers." Ludwig uploaded and he made the tiniest little itty bitty joke about Hasan, and Hasan texted him, was so fucking mad. Ludwig had to take the whole fucking video down, lie and say it was because the sponsors didn't like it, then re-uploaded that same video and included like a baseless accusation that my fan base was harassing him because some 0-follower Twitter account DM'd him something stupid or whatever. It was like,
I think a lot of people's lives live through the lens of Hasan, and then you can talk about something else afterwards. Now, I wanted to talk about that because this comes from a video that I uploaded almost 2 years ago. I think it was end of February 2024. This is the reason why this happens. All right. I uploaded this video called Huge Streaming Drop.
Why not try to counter this tactic? Nimplo was interested to do a podcast with you. Why not DM him and tell him to ignore Hasan gaslighting him about you? Because they're going to go where the viewership is. So Hasan is still on Twitch. I'm not on Twitch. So, like, Hasan has a huge advantage. It's one of the reasons why Hasan likes the fact that I'm still banned. Me and Nimp and Soda are never doing a show, by the way. There's zero chance. Because if Hasan is like, we'll watch that clip later, too. If Hasan is trying to, like, drag Nimp, I don't even know if he cares about trying to get in with them or if it's literally just to cogblock me. But if, I guarantee you, and Nick and them will never say it publicly, or maybe they will grow some balls and say it publicly, Hasan will absolutely tell them, like, if we're going to be doing stuff, you can't be doing anything with Destiny because his fan base is toxic and they harass everybody and blah, 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 100%.
Now, the reason I uploaded this video is because it was February 27th. I had a sponsor and I wanted to make a lot of money. So I uploaded a video that talked about really not much. It was a filler video, but Hasan saying that streaming is harder than a 9 to 5. I poked fun at Hasan, and then I went on to do a sponsored ad read. I forget for what sponsor. And then filled up some bullshit, called it a day, made some money. Easy gig. Until Hasan reacted to it on stream. And then the video got a bit brigaded by Hasan fans who are upset. And the sponsors, not so happy these days. I don't know if you know this. When Hasan comes up for sponsored deliverables. So I took it down. All right. I uploaded the sponsor at a later date, and then I re-uploaded the video. But because of that, I inserted myself into some shit that has been with me for 18 months. Bitch move? Maybe, but I also don't care to die on the hill. I don't think I was like making a poignant statement about how I disagree with Hasan's politics. I think it was the equivalent of, haha, Hasan said 9 to 5s are easier than streaming. Anyway, check out this sponsor. So it's not like a moral hill that I was here to die on. It was, hey, I don't want to deal with the brigading from Hasan fans.
I will say it's funny that he said this in like years after, but at the time, he literally said that he said that he took this down because what was it? Because sponsors weren't happy with something, but it like that wasn't the reason because Hasan messaged him. But he lied at the time for why he took it down, and then he threw some weird attack at my community at the end of the video.
I'm here to do this for a paycheck.
Yeah, low viewership or something.
So let me delete it. Was it the right move to make? Probably not, but it's the move I made at the time. It is what it is. I'm not that hung up.
Do you think there is a way to interact with people like Nick while reducing the social costs they pay in their group for interacting with you? No, because you have to go to the lowest level that people are bringing politics. Like I said, everything in the political scene can change if Trump chills the fuck out so that conservatives chill the fuck out. If people like Hasan calm the fuck down so that everybody can calm the fuck down. But as long as they're going to enforce this weird, like, you can't work with this guy, he's like a pedophile rapist, look, you know, chasing minors and they're harassing, blah, blah. As long as they're going to bring everything down to that level, then that's where we have to operate at, which sucks and it's annoying. But like, I mean, they're choosing it because you just have to assume, unfortunately, not to be mean, but streamers are kind of like spineless goofballs who won't actually take a stand for anything and they just kind of like follow the money and the viewership and they're very conflict avoidant. Well, if Hasan is going to bring conflict to you if you don't bend to his whims, then people are just going to have to choose a side and then that's just where the whole communities go to. It's annoying as fuck, and I wish the streamers like had a bigger spine against it. Some do, But then they end up being kind of like sort of outcast, like XQC or whatever. But
up on it. That was 18 months ago. And so, because of that, again, 18 months ago, I had dealt with people who now thought that, hey, Hasan messaged me. He made the boss call. I have to take down the video. That's not what happened.
I mean,
you can believe me or not believe me.
That's basically what you described, though, no?
Really don't care. But I swear on my mother's life, who I love more dearly than any human on this earth, that Hasan has never asked me to take down a video, and I did not do that because he asked me to. It just never happened. Right? It didn't happen on everything. You don't have to believe me. I don't care. That just is the fact. You know,
Hold on.
Holding. We're holding.
Are we holding?
We're in a holding pattern right now. Yes.
Why did I ban that Sistol guy a couple weeks ago? Do you remember?
How do you spell their name?
The Sistol Your Heart guy.
I don't. I have no idea.
I have unbanned August 1st.
We'll just leave him. It's
Whoa, but he... Okay. We got him. Snuck back in here.
How the hell they sneak in here? Bing?
Okay, never mind. I won't. Never mind. What else? Oh, one more.
But that's exactly what XQC did with the content nuke. By Ethan's own standards, XQC should be the first person he would go after. But when he watches him proudly admitting to stealing his property, he has only nice things to say.
I'm not reacting to this. I'm watching this. What about it?
And listen, I respect it, man. I acknowledge you.
We hear you.
I acknowledge you as the king of this shit.
So is Ethan just a pussy who won't go after someone that has the money to fight back? Yes.
Yep.
But more importantly, the shows that...
But also, he knows that XQC plays a formative role in the harassment. He knows Asmongold plays a big role in the harassment campaigns because Ethan's audience is dwindling. But there are a lot of much larger and much more insane audiences out there who will participate in the harassment of all of Ethan's enemies, which is precisely the reason why he never chose to sue like Asmongold or XQC, because he doesn't care about receiving negative pushback from their audiences. He actually welcomes the fact that they did this dog shit react in a way that wasn't transformative at all. But he didn't care about copyright at all. That wasn't the point. He just wanted to punish people who made him feel bad.
He's constantly alluding to hidden information that will completely exonerate him, that he can't reveal yet, but it never really comes.
Yeah. Is that even true? Is Ethan's audience dwindling? It's been a claim by them for a long time. I think the audience is like kind of like decreasing a little bit, but it's not like they're like completely non-existing. This is just like a thing you always say about somebody when you don't like them. Like their audience is dwindling, they're losing relevancy. These are just like random things you just always say.
Yeah, that's I mean that's what Asmongold did too, right? In defense of Rape Tone.
The noise that Ethan and Dan generated about this panel led to the ADL stepping in and pressuring Twitch to take action, and Frogan and a few others that participated got 30-day bans as a result.
Which was double the length that Asmongold received for saying Palestinians are an inferior culture that deserve to be genocided while the genocide was ongoing. Asmongold received 14 days for that. A lot of people were very offended by it. A lot of people were very mad he got banned at all. Most people celebrated that he was going to become a better person after this. Oh my God, this fucking nasty little pervert, this nasty little racist ended up getting...
I like how he's using the Trump word too of nasty. It's so gross how much these two sides have become like a mirror of each other. Ugh.
Ended up cleaning his house, shit like that. Okay? Everyone celebrated it. Meanwhile, everyone celebrated this ban. A ban that got pushed by the ADL, which is Israel's own attack dog, the Apartheid Defense League. The ADL, which gamers normally fucking hate, including Asmongold, right? Because they were coming after Steam for a while. All of a sudden was the hero in this story. These guys don't give a shit about anything.
Jesus. Okay. Wait, one more.
Young,
Stop
beautiful
brigading.
soldiers. And
Wait,
plus,
what is this? Stop brigading Peachy Stream crying, you fucking parasocial weirdos. Oh my God. We will ban every single person that is doing that. Okay? Every single person that's doing that, you will get banned here. Do not fucking do dumb shit like that. What the fuck's wrong with you guys, bro? It's fine. Be fucking normal. What is happening? Do not.
This was 6 months ago.
Oh my God. I wish, like, I was thinking about this morning. It's like people don't have the appropriate level of smoke for like actual political actors, right? They have way more smoke for, they have way more fucking smoke for my friends and people who are aligned with them politically than they do for like actual people on the opposing side, you know? Preserve your energy and use it.
Okay. Not too much Hasan slot. Quick last Hasan slot.
Being a baby. All right, next. Hasan shocked his dog. The story doesn't need much introduction. Hasan's dog, Kaya, appeared to yelp on stream when he reached for something on his desk, and the internet exploded with speculation that he used a shock collar on her. This prompted one of the most frenzied online news cycles ever about Hasan.
Maybe skip this one. No, I mean, I don't care at this point. Literally, either people believe it, don't give a shit. People believe it, do give a shit, but don't care about it as much. Or people don't believe it, and understandably, there are plenty of people in this community who are like, this is fucking bullshit. But there are also people who don't believe it and keep advancing it. Okay?
Jesus.
And I would go so far as say the people who keep pushing this beyond like memes, beyond jokes, which many people are just doing memes at this point because that's just what it is. But it's just a meme at this point. But there are people
What's the
who
meme? He shocked his dog.
Yeah, that didn't happen. It was like a Mossad op, bro.
Are you laughing about this? This is serious. This is serious. You're a fucking dog abuser. You're a dog abuser.
Oh, I do think that's true, what Peven says. I think Hasan was hoping the Kilo video would blow up and go viral. Remember, he shouted it out 2 separate times on stream and on Twitter when it dropped. It didn't even break 100,000 views. I think Hasan was hoping he could talk about the Kilo video organically, but it never happened, so he just watched it on stream. I think that is probably true, yeah.
And the irony is those people are oftentimes in this column, and therefore nobody takes them seriously.
Where for weeks, #Collargate was all anybody talked about. Hasan denied using the collar. People analyzed every frame of the incident, and it still gets brought up to this day. Now, I will say, as far as whether Hasan shocked Kaya or not, based on all the available evidence, it's probably true. But here's the thing. Kaya is obviously a well-cared-for animal. She goes on multiple walks a day, she has regular playtime with other dogs, and everyone attests to how loved and spoiled she is.
I have the best dog. It's crazy.
Wait. Is there a single video of her playing with other dogs? Is that out there anywhere?
Like, if there was a dog Olympics, like, she literally clears it. She is the #1.
And shock collars, while not my preference, are a legal and still somewhat widely used training tool. This is basically the dog equivalent of spanking a child.
Also, shock collars are not... I hate that this became the fixation, but I understand why, because people feel how they do about animals or whatever. The problem is not really the shock collar. The fact is that he was using, like, discipline techniques to try to keep the dog locked in place on the fucking stream so that it could look cool. And then also the fact that, like, it's pretty evidenced by the fact that the dog kind of doesn't like Hasan now. Like, you can tell, unless this is a very rare dog breed that doesn't get excited or happy when its owner calls them. I mean, like, the dog, like, clearly doesn't like Hasan.
You can disagree.
The irony is Fox News also destroyed shock collar gate because they snapped paparazzi pictures outside of my fucking house of Kaya going on a walk. And
here's a video of Kaya playing.
Wow,
with
your
another
dog goes on a walk.
I don't know if putting them in a
all.
confined space like this together is a good idea, but we're about to see very quickly. She will most likely recognize. She will very quickly learn that that's probably a mistake. Because if she keeps pushing Fiona, Fiona is going to bite. Oh, there we go. Good job, Fiona. You fucking tell her. One thing I will tell you, I've seen her. Kaya is really funny when she's scared. Being scared, but it gives me anxiety. Maybe it's me. No, I want her to bite her. What do you mean? That they had to chop it. I know Fiona wants out. She's not getting out though. Fiona snaps at her. She'll just go and like run away. Run away like a fucking goofball crying. It's the funniest thing on the fucking planet. Oh, Fiona, stay in there. She needs to learn. See? See? She wants out. See?
The wind, children.
Did you see that? I want you guys to see what happens when she actually gets scared. It's so fucking funny.
Hello everyone, Ace here, and today let's talk a little bit more about Hasan Piker and the controversy surrounding him abusing his dog Kaya in various ways. In this case, footage that dates all the way back to 2023, back when Kaya was still a puppy. I've already shown the clip that's going viral itself, which is a highlight reel of the stream in question, but to reiterate, is footage of Hasan Piker putting Kaya and another dog Fiona in what is essentially a cage, with the hopes that Kaya annoys Fiona enough that Fiona responds by biting Kaya, something that Hasan Piker explicitly states that he wants. Now, for what it's worth, there is an argument to be said about trying to get two dogs that you want as pets, but are unfamiliar with one another to be acclimated to one another. You probably, though, don't want them to be actively fighting one another, and you certainly don't want to do it in what is essentially a cage. You can see in the footage itself that at multiple times both Fiona and Kaya went out of it, and at the very bare minimum, sticking them in such close confines like that means that neither of them have reprieve from the other, which means that if Fiona really did snap, Kaya can't exactly escape in that situation.
Yeah, I don't know anything about getting two dogs to like each other, I guess. I know that for cats, this would be a fucking horrible idea. I don't know. But anyway.
People figured out that it was...
Okay, so there is a video of Kaya being socialized with another dog. At least one video.
Vibe collar. As I've been saying, it was a vibe collar.
Is it my Hasan derangement syndrome, or is this just a performative attempt to create a cute moment, and Kaya looks like she just wants to sink into the ground? Sending us on my medical bills because my ovaries just exploded. It's just so sad. I don't know, whatever, dude. Oh my god. I don't know what he was thinking when he... I don't know, bro. I can't exist in that level of consumerist, hyper-capitalist mindset of like, I'm going to show everybody how good my life is by having the most expensive stuff and showing how happy I am to have the most expensive designer stuff. It's like beyond fucking cringe to me. I don't know.
But it is kind of funny that, you know, everyone stopped talking about that. They just don't give a fuck.
Agree with it, and I do also. But the idea that this represents some pattern of abuse is pretty silly. And if his son does use a shock collar and then lie about it, I kind of get why. Considering the situation led to some people filing reports to have Kaya taken away. Does anybody really think it would be better for Kaya to be entered into the foster system rather than staying in the LA mansion where she seems to live a largely spoiled and happy life? Look, if you want to criticize him for using a shock collar, that's totally fine. That is a legitimate concern. But this story quickly stopped being about Kaya and turned into yet another desperate scramble for a smoking gun to use against Hasan.
Do I personally care about Kaya? I can give a fuck about Kaya. That said, it's fair to push this because it hurts Hasan, and Hasan is a bad person.
Spending a month covering it, filing animal welfare reports, and demanding Twitch ban him over this. These just aren't really proportionate responses to what he actually did. So I don't know, man. This obviously isn't ideal, but to me, even as someone who doesn't eat meat,
yeah, he falls in the camp of he did it, but who gives a shit? It's not, like, at a certain point, most people are gonna be like, why are you, like, it's very clear that this guy doesn't abuse his dog. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's so fucking funny that the best thing that could have happened was me just like joking about it myself, and then all of those people getting super butthurt.
And also like,
okay, are we good?
What do you want me to say, man?
Is that our Hasan Slappa for the day? With immeasurable thanks to God, we're proud to announce the addition of baby number 5 to the Shapiro family this morning. Hey, Elon Musk, we have a Tesla Model X, but we can't really fit both parents and 5 kids, and the new SUV only has 6 seats. On behalf of those who are doing our best to repopulate the West, any chance Tesla can make a minivan or SUV? Oh my God, bro.
That's crazy.
Oh my God. Oh wait, this might be one more. Does this count as Hasan Slava? Hold on. Apparently I got really mad at this piece.
The conflicts in the Middle East are changing the way that young Americans look at Israel. But the political debate is also leaving the door open for extremist views to enter the mainstream. From the far right,
I think that Jews are causing a disproportionate amount of problems in the United States,
to the far left.
You f***ing baying pig! You f***ing bloodthirsty, violent pig dog!
Anti-Semitism is resurging around the world, and it's reaching dangerous levels.
2025 was one of the most violent periods we've seen in memory. Over 200 acts of violence committed against Jewish people.
I'm Will Carlos, and I've made it my mission to examine how extremist movements are gradually becoming mainstream in America. This is extremely normal. I'm here in Tampa, Florida, at a campaign rally for James Fishback. He's a long shot candidate for governor on the Republican ticket, but he's
a bit off topic, but how do analysts like Hasan plan to deal with Leviathan states? It seems like their theory hinges on a benevolent government with perfect information. What is a Leviathan state? Is that like a Final Fantasy summon? What?
attracted many young men with far-right beliefs over a specific issue, Israel.
Look, you can love Israel, you can hate Israel, but last time I checked, this is the United States of America. I have a crazy, radical, maybe it makes me an extremist, but here's a very simple statement.
It's a Hobbes thing. Like Calvin and Hobbes, the comic? Who cares what the cat thinks?
No American should ever die for Israel.
So brave.
The main thing that we should all die for Israel.
True.
Goes and stands up for America against Israel. He's the only politician doing that.
I feel like we're not allowed to criticize them at all, and then any criticism is just immediately shut down as anti-Semitism.
I think that the average American is fed up. They are fed up as they were 5 or 6 years ago when folks in the Democrat Party would criticize any opinion contrary to DEI or affirmative action as racist. And now you
I drew this once before. There needs to be like a name for this system, because sometimes I feel like we are perpetually fucking trapped here. And it's like, it's just the most annoying fucking thing in the universe to navigate. Basically, you'll have, this is like a, we'll say the center opinion or something. Basically, you have a whole bunch of people that will be here. And then you'll have a whole bunch of people who will be here. And then there will be some like crazy people that'll be here. And then these people here, wait. And then you'll have some crazy people here. And then what'll happen is that these people here, they will pretend, these guys here will pretend that these guys are these guys. And then these people here will pretend that these guys are these guys. And all they're trying to do the entire time is mindfuck these guys. And you see this happen with so many different issues. So like people over here be like, any criticism at all of Israel is treated as anti-Semitic. It's like, I don't think that's true. I don't believe you. Now, but there are some people who really do that, but they're like kind of the outsiders. They're like, I'm pretty sure you can be critical of Israel and be critical of some of these things or whatever, affirmative action, DI, whatever the fuck. You can do this without being like immediately labeled as racist. Although there is a small percentage of people that will always immediately label you as anti-Semitic racist, but it's not most people. But then these guys spend all their time trying to convince you that like, well, these guys are, that all of them are going to label you as anti-Semitic and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I think it's just these guys. But then these guys are, this like whole thing is so fucking cringe. It's so cringe because then like, instead of ever having any conversation about any of these topics ever, it's always just these fringe fucking retards on both sides, like throwing around the, oh, you're anti-Semitic, you're not anti-Semitic, oh, you're racist, you're not racist.
Folks in the Democrat Party would criticize any opinion contrary to DEI or affirmative action as racist. And now, if you criticize Netanyahu, if you criticize the fact that we're sending $5 billion there, we're spending $200 billion per the Pentagon's request on this war that, in the words of Secretary of State Marco Rubio, says is because of Israel's preemptive attack, that is deemed as anti-Semitic.
But the popularity of Fishback's attacks on Israel isn't just specific to his belief in the country's financial and military dependence on the United States. He's also gained a lot of fans in the far-right Gen Z group known as Groypers for his use of phrases and rhetoric that have been labeled deeply anti-Semitic.
If you wanted to set up our kids for failure, you would feed them the absolute goy slop in our cafeteria.
Goy slop is an anti-Semitic internet slang term combining goy, a Hebrew Yiddish term for a non-Jew, and slop, meaning low-quality food. Originating around 2016 on 4chan, it's used to describe processed, unhealthy food or low-quality media, alleging a conspiracy that Jewish elites are promoting these products to make non-Jewish people unhealthy and submissive.
Well, I meant to be funny.
Okay, but
I meant to be funny.
Why was
in the same way, growing up, my mother, who was born in South America, would call what my dad would make gringo slop sometimes as a kid. So, I mean, was that a conspiracy against...
I don't believe that ever. I've never in my life. I don't know. I don't believe it.
Every single Hispanic person in the United States? Of course not.
Well, no, but goy slop, as far as I understand it, the idea is that this is food that is being foisted on non-Jews by a sort of Jewish cabal to weaken them in some way, right? I mean, that's the...
Wait, who the fuck is this guy? Wow. I'm sorry. Is this an actual...
Is this talk to Hasan too?
I don't know, but whoever he is, he has some
sure.
understanding at least of what is happening. That's good. Nice. Okay. Good job.
That is being foisted on non-Jews by a sort of Jewish cabal to weaken them in some way, right? I mean, that's the conspiracy. That's what you were tipping your hat to.
I don't know that conspiracy reflects what I actually spoke about.
I like how he laughs a little bit because the guy called it out directly. Will the guy push him on this? This is also like an annoying thing too, is that every political everything, every interview, everything is all just like demagoguery and like rhetoric. It's so boring. It's so boring. Oh my God. Like, how much can you lie to the media and lie to everybody about what you're doing while everybody really knows what you're doing? And
which is our public school cafeterias are feeding kids absolute garbage with high fructose corn syrup, high sodium. Well, that's not particularly punchy or funny. And so
because you don't have the anti-Semitic element involved. That's why. What makes it punchy or funny is the anti-Semitic element. That's what's punchy and funny. And it's also, but it's not really even funny because you believe this. Like, this is the message that you sell to people.
I'm going to do things that are funny, that are punchy. I wish we would spend less time talking about word choice and more time talking about the issue that we have.
Then why choose the words that you know are going to get people to talk about the words? And why not just talk about the issue?
Obesity crisis in my state. We have a hunger crisis in my state.
I agree with you, but respectfully, I think you made that the conversation
True.
when you used that term.
Yep.
Perhaps.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, perhaps, but I don't regret the use of that
What do you mean perhaps? Don't say perhaps. That's intentionally your strategy. What do you mean perhaps?
term whatsoever. What I think we have to do is spend less time trying to police language and more time actually getting to the issues.
Anti-Semitism has of course been around for centuries, but it's seeing a resurgence, particularly in America, around the same time that the Israeli government has invaded and attacked Gaza, in response to the Hamas-led terrorist attacks against Israel on October 7th, 2023. That conflict has been deeply unpopular among Americans, many of whom see Israel as having taken a disproportionately violent response. But here's the thing, while a lot of Americans blame the current Israeli government, the backlash has also come against Jews in general, across the globe, and especially here in the US. And this scapegoating, blaming Jews at large for the actions of the Israeli government, has been seized upon by internet-savvy influencers with extreme views.
I'm just going to come out and say it. Like, I think that Jews are causing a disproportionate amount of problems in the United States.
Jews are money changers. Bullshit artists, psychopaths, charlatans, grifters, manipulators.
That's also led to outward minimization or even full denial of the Holocaust, one of the most tragic events in human history, which led to the deaths of more than
what? Just kidding.
6 million Jews.
Ever since the Holocaust, the alleged Holocaust of roughly 6 million Jews, give or take some millions.
There's so many problems with it. And to exterminate that many people in that period of time, simply put, there weren't enough ovens.
Let's talk about the Holocaust. Do you believe the Holocaust happened?
Do I believe that the German government killed innocent Jews? Yes.
Do you?
Oh man, it's the clip from that TV show. Fuck.
You believe that? I mean, the number that's always cited is 6 million people. Do you believe 6 million people died in the Holocaust?
So.
He's like, well, hold on now.
That's a lot of people. Can we really know the exact number? Historians debate this, don't they?
I tell you the truth, I've spent more of my time thinking about the history of Florida, the history of our state, how we can make that great. I haven't spent a lot of time studying Holocaust history. I know that time and again in US history, we've been told one thing only to have it debunked later. What I can unequivocally tell you is that the genocide of Jews by the German government was a tragedy. It should never happen again. I'm not sure why we are talking about the Holocaust in 2026, to tell you the truth. I don't think we should crack down on legitimate speech. I think we should absolutely condemn any form of religious hatred, including against Jews. But there always has to be...
So isn't that a good thing then, that we talk...
Like... You're the one that is invoking all of the weird anti-Semitic language, all the weird anti-Semitic rhetoric, and now you're like, well, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to... Like, just own it. Oh my God.
Talk about the Holocaust if we want to ensure that these things don't happen again and we want to keep, religious
But when we talk
hatred.
about the Holocaust in the context of having a debate about Israel or Benjamin Netanyahu or AIPAC, why would that be relevant?
I think it's relevant because it's all within the context of Israel defending itself, right? And Jewish people defending themselves, which is what they claim the war is about, right? It's about defense, and it's about offense for defense, and it's about ensuring that there isn't another Holocaust and that they don't get wiped out again, right? Or almost wiped out.
So this war doesn't appear that is in fact the case when upwards of 80,000 civilians rather, have been killed at the hands of the Israeli government in Gaza. We have to have a real conversation about what is happening in the Middle East. There's this often question, does Israel have a right to exist? No country has a right to exist. People are endowed with the right to exist through self-defense, through self-determination. I don't believe that the Israeli government has a permanent right to exist regardless of electoral outcomes, geopolitical considerations, the will of the people, but Jewish people anywhere in the world, but especially in the United States of America, absolutely have a right to exist.
This talking point about Israel's right to exist and self-determination has become one of the most hotly debated issues when it comes to Israel and Jews as a people. The key term here is Zionism, which
Wait, fuck, hold on. I need a real... 1 second.
but Jewish people anywhere in the world, but especially through self-defense, through self-determination. I don't believe that the Israeli government has a permanent right to exist regardless of electoral outcomes, geopolitical considerations, the will of the people, but Jewish people anywhere in the world, but especially in the United States of America, absolutely have a right to exist.
This talking point about Israel's right to exist and self-determination has become one of the most hotly debated issues when it comes to Israel and Jews as a people. The key term here is Zionism, which refers to a movement and belief that Jewish people have the right to self-determination and a state of their own. It serves as the foundation of Israel as a country after the Holocaust. But people I spoke with across the country on the left and the right use that term Zionist in a sort of automatically derogatory way. They define Zionism not as Jews' rights to self-determination, to existence and safety, but instead equate Zionism with Israel's expansion into the West Bank and Gaza. Young people at right-wing political events and left-wing protests alike told me they're not anti-Jewish, but they are anti-Zionist. One of the most popular and controversial anti-Zionists is the leftist political commentator Hasan Piker.
So don't tell me that when you're peacefully trying to coexist with Israel, they let you peacefully coexist. Because what is going on in the West Bank is nothing but violence.
Piker has amassed more than 6 million followers across his social platforms with his blunt and aggressive reactions to right-wing politics, and particularly against Israel's current leadership. And he's recently entered the political battlefield, stumping for progressive politicians like New York City Mayor Zoran Mandani, Pennsylvania Congresswoman Summer Lee, and US Senate candidate for Michigan Abdul El Sayed. He's also made speeches on college campuses like Yale.
Donald Trump let the Israelis drag the U.S. into this newest war with Iran after 3 years of bipartisan support for the genocide that Israel was committing on a different front of Israel's multiple ongoing wars of aggression. Zionism is the ethno-religious supremacist ideology that is exterminationist in principle, born out of the
ethno-religious supremacist ideology. Jesus Christ. Is every single self-determining people like ethno-supremacist? Does that make you an ethno-supremacist?
The wrong assessment that this was a land without people for a people without land. It required the extermination of the indigenous population, and that's precisely what has happened since its inception. And it's
extermination, really? Okay.
Final iteration of that has been the Gaza genocide that we watched unfold.
Would you acknowledge that that's a very different definition to what many Jews would consider Zionism?
Of course, people that want to support Israel are going to look at that and say, well, Zionism to me means something entirely different. Zionism
so maybe
to me,
it just does. Maybe it just does mean something different.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still this ideology that is responsible for not only the inception of the Israeli state, but its current version.
When Hasan Piker proudly says he's an anti-Zionist, anti-Zionism is a form of anti-Semitism. It's the idea that Jewish people, unlike Muslims, unlike Christians, unlike all the people in the world, don't have a right to a state of their own. That's what it means.
Jonathan Greenblatt is the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League. The nonprofit was founded in 1913, and its mission is to combat anti-Semitism and broader discrimination around the world. Today, the ADL uses technology to track and monitor increasing anti-Semitic rhetoric on social media and hate speech and violence against Jews across the globe.
I've spent a lot of time talking to young people, and their idea of Zionism is almost like, if you talk to sort of young people on the left and on the right now, they see this word Zionism and they see not just sort of self-determination, but they've come to understand Zionism as expansionism.
So I get that we have to try to understand the next generation where they're coming from. At the same time, there are absolutes. They can look at things in different ways, but Zionism is the right of Jewish people to self-determination in their ancestral homeland. That's it. That's all it is. So you can be upset with Prime Minister Netanyahu and some of his policies, but he didn't invent Zionism any more than you can be upset with President Trump and his policies. He didn't invent kind of America or patriotism. Piker and others exploit the broad misunderstanding of what that word means, and they promote misunderstanding by using it as some kind of slur or trying to suggest it means something that it doesn't. My Zionism, and I am an unapologetic Zionist, I believe Israel has the right to exist.
The ADL has monitored anti-Semitism from the left and the right, but Greenblatt says they have seen increasing use of anti-Semitic rhetoric from the left over the conflicts in the Middle East. Piker has been a specific concern for the ADL. On their website, you can find a rough...
Is he right? Yeah, Zionism, broadly speaking, refers to Jews feel like they have a right to a state of their own. That's, like, in the most broadest of terms, that's basically what Zionism is, yeah. And then everybody wants to redefine or relabel it based on their political beliefs or whatever.
A 10-page research analysis of moments that they say Piker has used blatant anti-Semitic rhetoric.
You f***ing baying pig! You f***ing bloodthirsty, violent pig dog!
Pig dog is identified as an anti-Semitic insult, often used in conjunction with other anti-Jewish rhetoric, such as references to bloodthirsty, or in German, Schweinejuden, Jewish pigs.
Do you regret any of the things that you said?
If no government has a right to exist, i.e. people don't have a right to organize or govern themselves, does that not mean Gazans don't have a right to exist either? Seems like an easy segue into, if you want to exist, then you have to beat us in a war. I mean, I don't know. No one has ever actually had a long-form debate with like a crazy anti-Zionist person, so I've never heard any of their actual beliefs spelled out before or heard how they respond to critical challenges. It's just kind of like a religion at this point. You just like give the statements and then you... and then, I don't know, and then everybody cheers, that's it.
Bloodthirsty, or in German, Schweinejuden, Jewish pigs.
Do you regret any of the things that you said?
I mean, I've spoken for 21,000 hours on contentious subjects from a perspective that most Americans are not privy to. So I'm sure that there are things that I've said in heated moments because it's a very contentious environment. It's a medium that requires interaction.
If they serve in the military and then they get their fucking untrained inbred is shipped into southern Lebanon, again, very funny.
When I'm calling like a settler or something inbred, it's not different than me calling a neo-Nazi inbred. Is it nice?
Nice comparison, always to the Nazis, always.
No. Is it kind? Absolutely not. It's vulgar, for sure. I understand that, but it's not saying like all Jews are inbred or anything like that. That's not what I meant. That's not what I mean at all.
You see how Piker is essentially saying the same thing that James Fishback told me? When he chooses to
Oh, very true.
use a word like dog or inbred to define a specific racial group, Jews, he says it's just colorful language, like Fishback calling cafeteria food goyslop. It's just crude language that gets taken as anti-Semitic.
I think defending being vulgar is a silly exercise. It's like trying to explain a joke.
It's just vulgarity. It's just a joke, LOL. Meanwhile, insult Hasan about a single thing. You are being Islamophobic. You're being anti-Muslim. People only target Frogan because they're Islamophobic. Like, what?
Never going to be
Even
funny.
when they're not saying things that have anything to do with Islam or Muslims or Arabs or anything else.
Anti-Semitic.
I think defending being vulgar is a silly exercise. It's like trying to explain a joke. It's never going to be funny. It's already over. I'm telling you sincerely what I believe. I'm not precious with my language is what I'm saying.
But critics like Greenblatt don't buy that.
Hasan can say whatever he wants. We bring the receipts. So I'm not going to judge him on what he says to you in a conversation. I'm going to judge him on the basis of what he says to his audience day after day after day. When you call Orthodox Jews inbred, when you describe the Jewish state as evil, as Hamas, a terror organization committed to slaughtering Jewish people anywhere in the world, it says it in their charter.
Yeah.
Those are their words.
Greenblatt and others have called out Piker's support for Hamas, the Palestinian militant group responsible for the October 7th attacks in Israel. He's described the group as the lesser evil in the ongoing conflict.
If the right to your state means ethnic cleansing, is that a good thing? I think it was wrong when America did it. It was wrong when Israel did it, and it's still doing it. I mean, it depends on, first of all, the term ethnic cleansing is super loaded. We didn't even start using this term until like 20, 30 years ago. But let's grant that. I mean, wouldn't we require the ethnic cleansing of Jews out of Israel if we feel like they shouldn't be there? So, I mean, at some point, isn't somebody going to have to be ethnically cleansed? Isn't that how it works? Right? Like, I mean, what's the alternative, no?
Conflict. Hamas's original 1988 founding charter explicitly called for the destruction of Israel and the killing of Jewish people worldwide. An updated version of the charter in 2017 removed references to the destruction of Israel, instead declaring to confront what they call the Zionist project and upheld armed resistance.
You said that you supported Hamas like 1,000 times
So
over.
Hamas is 1,000 times better than Israel.
Yeah.
The numbers probably have increased now that Israel
the numbers
is doing what it's doing to Gaza in Lebanon as well.
But aren't you just justifying violence with more violence, though?
Yes.
I mean, like that's what it sounds like. I mean, if ultimately the goal is peace and a diplomatic solution to this, then doesn't it set back that cause by expressing in very stark terms support for a group that is engaged currently in acts of terrorism?
I think Israel is doing acts of terrorism. I think America.
But you can be against.
I also really hate that, like, I wish somebody would tell him, like, can you stop laughing and do like a serious interview? Like every time he answers a question, he's always kind of like laughing and joking. Like he can't take anything. The Nazis do the same shit where everything's kind of like a joke question and they laugh it all off and then they pivot to something completely unrelated. Oh my God.
In acts of terrorism.
I think Israel is doing acts of terrorism. I think America.
But you can be against both, can't you? I mean, you can be.
Well, no, of course, I
no, he's
I
not.
am,
No,
right?
he's
And
not.
I have said
No,
that
he's not.
like, any kind of targeting of civilians is a war crime. It's heinous. It's completely unacceptable. It's not an.
So that's a dog whistle there. I wonder if he knows that. Remember, for people like Hasan, there are no Israeli civilians. So when he says targeting civilians, I think is a crime always. He's not talking about anybody in Israel ever. There are no Israeli civilians. All of them are settlers, even the babies. He said this on stream before.
Endorsement necessarily of militant resistance.
Sounds like an endorsement.
It's not an endorsement of militant resistance. Completely unacceptable. It's not an endorsement necessarily of militant resistance.
Sounds like
even that he's hedging there, or not hedging. He's reframing that Hamas is militant resistance, not terrorism. It's militant resistance.
It's not an endorsement of militant resistance.
Well, let's be clear
but it's a recognition. But it's a recognition of their desperation.
I think you could ask a lot.
A recognition of their desperation. They always change. On stream, it's supporting it. Oh, they should be fighting back. To when they move to more neutral platforms where they actually get pressed on it, they're like, oh, no, I don't support this thing. I'm just giving you the analysis. I'm just saying that, like, well, this is what's going to happen. This is inevitable. And then when he's on podcasts, it's, oh my God, Hezbollah flag is my favorite flag ever. Look at these Houthi terrorists hijacking this ship. It's fucking based.
A lot of people who are kind of spouting anti-Zionism, like, does Israel have a right to exist? And most of them would say, well, sure, we're okay with Israel as it is. We're just not okay with certain things that the Israeli government is doing.
That is totally legitimate. Like for someone to say, like, I'm okay with America, I just don't agree with what President Trump is doing.
Right.
Or I was okay with America, I didn't agree with what President Biden was doing.
Right.
That's normal. But when there are people who say that the country is more evil than the terrorists who blow up buses and try to intentionally kill civilians, like something's wrong with that. I think that's kind of a warped set of values. I really do.
What's going on with those monitors? This is the Jewish HQ. They monitor every instance of anti-Semitism across the United States. They plugged in right here. So if you tweet something anti-Semitic, you're going to show up on one of the Jew monitors. Careful.
They kill civilians. Like, something's wrong with that. I think that's kind of a warped set of values. I really do.
It's clear that the ongoing conflicts in the Middle East are changing the way that Americans view Israel's government and America's decades-long relationship with Israel. But it's also very clear that anti-Semitism is reaching extremely dangerous levels, evident by the real-world violence against Jews.
We've been dealing with anti-Semitism since 1913, but we've been systematically tracking it for almost 50 years. And 2025 was one of the most violent periods we've seen in memory. Over 200 acts of violence committed against.
Did you ever have a take on the Andrew Callahan rape allegations? Were those credible? I don't remember. I don't think I dug into them too deeply. I feel like when I looked at them, I feel like it was mostly like he was like having sex with some people and they were uncomfortable but didn't say anything, and it all looked kind of like bullshitty to me. But I didn't dig too deeply into it, so I don't have a strong opinion. I'm not sure. Maybe there were really bad things in there, but I just don't know.
In 2025 was one of the most violent periods we've seen in memory. Over 200 acts of violence committed against Jewish people in 2025, out of a total of 6,200 some odd anti-Semitic incidents. Synagogues, schools, offices like this one, literally, they're fortified like citadels with bulletproof glass and security guards and alarm systems. But the truth is, every Jewish establishment, every place where Jewish people walk or where they shop or where they socialize, you can't live behind, barbed wire and walls, which is why ultimately anti-Semitism is everyone's problem.
Whether you're on the left or the right, anti-Semitism is indeed everyone's problem. And that's true even for Jews who are somewhere in the middle, supporters of Israel who are outwardly opposed to Prime Minister Netanyahu and his government.
Either Israel is always right and you can't criticize it, or Israel's always wrong and it's the worst country in the world. And the truth lies somewhere in the middle. And so does the majority of the largest group of American Jews, and their opinions lie in the middle. Our organization is here to advocate for that, to try to change American policy and also change the public conversation, to have space to have that difficult conversation.
J Street is a liberal Zionist advocacy lobby group based in Washington, D.C. The group describes itself as the political home and voice for pro-Israel, pro-peace, pro-democracy Americans. J Street opposes the current Israeli government and its policies, but it also doesn't support the more extreme opinions of far-left commentators like Piker either.
I happen to be what's called a liberal Zionist. I believe that in the founding of the state of Israel, there were certain promises made and certain commitments made about the type of state it was going to be, that it would provide equality for all, regardless of their race and their religion and their gender, that it would be a light unto the nations, that it would pursue the rule of law and equality under the law. And that, to me, is my Zionism. But the debate over what Zionism is has been going on for 130 years within the Jewish community. And this Netanyahu, Ben-Gvir, Smotrich right-wing vision of Zionism is not what I mean when I say I believe in Zionism.
I'm curious as to whether you think the majority of the conversation that's going on about the relationship between America and Israel is of that format at the moment, or is it being dominated by more sort of shrill or louder voices? A very difficult part of what you do must be attempting to counteract the Nick Fuenteses of the world. Do you think that they have a lot of influence in how people think about Israel?
Well, I think you can look at the polling and you can see the influence. The more that your 30 seconds of a soundbite can get just clipped and sent around, the more you're going to have an influence these days. This is not limited just to the anti-Semitism question or the Israel question, but folks on the right and folks on the left using the most outrageous possible language and having no desire to have an hour-long conversation that gets into nuance and areas of gray and shades of gray.
I sat down with James Fishback and talked with him for an hour, and I said, look, you say you want to have this conversation about Israeli influence in American politics, but then you go and you use terms like goy slop, which is a specific anti-Semitic dog whistle, and you know exactly what you're doing. Obviously, the criticism and the virulent language that somebody like Hasan Piker uses, I would argue, is certainly not helpful, and I pressed him on that, and I pushed him on that, and I said, every time you say I'm 1,000 times more in support of Hamas than I am of Israel, yes, it gets views, but it also sort of cheapens this conversation and it takes the focus away from the more recent debate. Both of those sides are not helping when it comes to having this conversation. I think that's fair to say, right?
We spend a lot more time, who's more dangerous, Nick Fuentes or Hasan Piker, and which words matter more or less, and that's interesting, but I think from a human point of view, how are we going to make less people die over the course of the years and decades ahead?
True.
J Street and I will spend more of our time trying to talk through, well, what should American policy be? How do we get the Israeli government and the governments of the Arab countries and the leadership of the Palestinian Authority, how do we get them to begin building on a different path towards actually ending this conflict so we stop having the people on the right and the left going at this way? And so many of us in this middle space are trying to show to young people that there are voices on the other side and try to elicit a little bit of empathy to try to match the anger and use that empathy to say, okay, there's a human being on the other side of this. It's not some horrible monster, a figment of your imagination. It's a human being with a family, with kids, and a desire to raise their kids in peace. And that's who's on the other side of all of this.
Ben-Ami makes an important point about the dangers of clippable moments overtaking real, nuanced discussion on ending the conflicts in the Middle East. But you could also argue that the damage is already being done here in America. Politicians like Fishback, and even some on the left who've used anti-Semitic talking points like defeated Democratic congressional candidate Maureen Galindo, are making headlines and drawing crowds with their vulgar, punchy lines. And supporters like the Groypers, who agree with Fishback's extreme rhetoric about Jewish people, are going to the polls and casting their votes. So what can be done? Well, for our part, with this series, we hope to cut through the vulgar and short clips with real conversations. And we also tried to have another real discussion with two of our subjects to hopefully build some kind of new understanding. I asked Hasan Piker and Jonathan Greenblatt on camera if they would sit down for a conversation with each other, with me moderating. Piker said yes immediately.
Wild idea. If we could broker it, would you sit down with him?
With Jonathan Greenblatt?
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to.
Okay.
I would love to have a conversation with Jonathan Greenblatt.
I'll pose the same question to him.
Greenblatt was a bit more cautious.
We've talked a lot about Hasan Piker here. He claims he's tried to sit down with you guys and tried to talk to you.
When
you
was
said
that?
earlier, I don't know. He's claimed, that's his claim to you. Would you sit down with him? Would you sit down with him and me in a room and have a conversation?
Look, I'll sit down and talk to anyone. My only red line is if you dehumanize others.
Has he crossed that line?
Well, yeah, and saying that, Zionists, the things said about Zionists, I think absolutely cross the line and create the space where it seems legitimate to murder Jewish people. So, if he would acknowledge the legitimacy of Zionism, the Zionists have the same right as everyone else, even people whose views we don't like. That would be an important step forward.
The offer still stands.
Well, do you think they ever will?
Nope. But I think they should. So you like that interviewer?
Yeah. Seems like he knows what's going on.